SeaQuest DSV. Now there's a show I actually miss. Greetings, Dave here, DCBFX. Yes, new hair. Having fun. I loved SeaQuest DSV when it was on in the 90s. It was on in 93 to 96. Actually, it was a fun story because it went up against Lois and Clark. Now, I love Superman. I thought Lois and Clark was great. I love Dean Cain. He was fantastic as Superman. It was a Sunday night thing. So SeaQuest and Lois and Clark were around the same time. So I would watch SeaQuest and tape Lois and Clark because I figured I want to keep Lois and Clark. Granted, tape, that's a very old thing to say now. Everything's on DVD. But I had them and I'd watch them and it was fun and, you know, it was a great time. SeaQuest was, and a fun story about this, SeaQuest was originally set in 2018. 3 years ago, I don't think we had giant subs and colonies underwater. Anyway, it was a fun series. It was, you know, a big, huge submersible called the SeaQuest. And it went and it patrolled the bottom of the ocean and all the colonies that were set up. And you had the, you know, the world had fallen apart and you had the Micronesia and everything else. Roy Scheider, Jaws and Blue Thunder, well, Roy Scheider, he was great as the designer and captain of the SeaQuest. And then you had like Jonathan Brandis and you had, who else? You had Don Franklin and lots of cool characters. And it was Stacey Haydick. Stacey Haydick. Fantastic show. I loved it. Season 1 was great. Season 2 went kind of weird and then ended, wow, really badly. And then season 3 was, the hell was that? Only lasted 13 episodes, season 3. It wasn't very good. Michael Ironside tried his best, but it wasn't, it wasn't very good. Even season 2, it went from being this really cool season 1, exploring underwater and sciencey, and they had Bob Ballard from the oceanography whatever, talking about facts about underwater and all those other cool things. Then season 2 was, as Roy Scheider put it, the Next Generation 4. It was time travel and just, it was, as he called it, Star Trek. He was not happy. He made himself very clear on that. Even Edward Kerr, who came on in the second season as a science officer, sorry, a security officer, he was like, this is crap. And season 3, he, you know, got killed off. It was great. I loved it. And I'm just sad that it kind of went. Saving grace is, though, about 15 years ago, they did release DVDs of season 1 and season 2. Now, I'd made my own. That's another story. I used to tape things on my PVR and then use my Mac Mini to make my own, not for resale, not for anything else, own copies of shows. And I had a Bell PVR at the time, and I had almost the entire first season recorded, and I was going to then rip them off that summer, and then my PVR died and I lost them all. I was so ticked. Now granted, they had problems with the distribution of it, so in the way that they were coming across, I had to do a lot of fixing in post in order to get the audio to line up with the video. So when I heard the DVDs were coming out, I said, yes, thank you very much. So I have season 1, season 2. And I think it's time to pop those in again. If you haven't seen SeaQuest DSV, check it out, especially the first season. The first season was really good. They did some really cool things, like they found the Library of Alexandria. If you knew your Greek history, your Greek mythology, you know all about that. Plato talked about that a lot. And, you know, they had some really cool things. And even some of the ways that Roy Scheider broke up, you know, there was at one point, because they found the library, there's a disagreement, and they had this great piece, and because you had Syria and all these other places were arguing over whose piece it was, Nathan Bridger, who was Roy Scheider's character, had a great idea. Isn't this beautiful? Yes. You're all fighting over it? Yes. Break it in 7 pieces. You each get a piece. No, don't do that. No. Well, let's sit down and talk about it. So it was a smart man's show. It was very much like Next Generation because you had the captain who was a smart guy. It wasn't all action and adventure. Now granted, Star Trek moved that way eventually, but there are a lot of cerebral things that happen, and that's what I loved about SeaQuest. And in fact, even like so much, I made my own shirt. I wear that sometimes. I wore it once to visit my mom in Florida. She said, "Seaqueer? What the hell is Seaqueer?" Put your glass on. SeaQuest. Anyway, that's my video for today. I'm trying to get more things out in regards to things I like to give you a better idea of it. I was talking about some actors, and Terrence Knox, who's a big spaghetti western actor, and someone said, oh, he did this and this and this and this. I said, you forgot Super Fuzz. So I've seen all these really terrible movies, terrible, well, not terrible TV shows. I like this, but these stuff you may not have seen, so I'm passing it on to you. In that vein, I'm looking at a redesign of my website to get more things going on like that. So I'm still playing around with that a little bit. But that's it for today. Hope everyone's having a great day, and we'll talk to you all later.